following video is not made for kids. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello to my subscribers, it's the TFA coming to you with hopefully be a quick and successful review, and today we're going to be taking a look at Transformers Legacy Velocitron Speedy 500 Deluxe Class Decepticon Shadow Strip. Or, since he's from the G2 universe, for those of you who are longtime fans of the Transformers know, this is actually Generation 2 Drag Strip. So, whether or not Hasbro renamed the G2 version of Drag Strip Shadow Strip to avoid confusion with Generation 1 Drag Strip, or within the span of the roughly 6 months from the time Legacy Drag Strip was originally released to when this figure was released, Hasbro lost the registered trademark to the name Drag Strip. I honestly cannot say. But it has opened the door to the Generation 2 versions of the Stunticons, or at least Drag Strip, being named and treated as a separate Transformers character, which is most likely what I'm going to be doing with this figure, is referring to it by its new name, Shadow Strip. Normally, when Transformers characters get new registered trademark names, I stick to the original name, but so far I have no plans on getting the G2 version of Dead End, who was released in the Toxitron collection, and so far there's been no word from Hasbro nor Takara Tomy as to whether or not if the other 3 Legacy Stunticons of Wild Rider, Breakdown, and Motormaster are going to be repainted in their Generation 2 colors. If we ultimately do get a Generation 2 version of Legacy Menasor, I honestly don't know if I'm going to get all of them and have a G2 version of Menasor, because I already have one from the Combiner Wars line. But regardless, one of the reasons why I'm excited to have Shadow Strip is because he was technically the last Transformers Velocitron Speedy 500 figure that I needed to add to my Transformers collection. He's not the last one that I'm reviewing. I still have one more to review after him, but he was the last one I needed, so I now have the entire Legacy Velocitron Speedy 500 collection. I've gotten all 11 figures that were released in this subline. And I actually found Shadow Strip where a lot of people have been finding him. I found him at my local Ross Dress for Less store. He's discounted from the original retail price tag that Deluxe Class Transformers were going for to the new price tag of $7.99. So to find a Deluxe Class Transformers figure for just $8, that was a steal. And there still are a lot of Transformers Legacy figures and Transformers Kingdom figures being found at Ross stores right now. So if you have a Ross Dress for Less store, go ahead and check it out. For the past 2 weeks, my Ross store had sold out of all the Transformers figures they had gotten at the start of the month of September. Right after Thanksgiving weekend and Black Friday was done, was when the last batch of Transformers Legacy figures had been found, but they restocked. I found Shadow Strip sitting next to a pile of Transformers figures. Most of them I already had, so Shadow Strip was the only one I was looking for, so it was a thrill to find him there. But yes, check your local Ross Dress for Less stores right now while supplies still last, because they've gotten more batches of Transformers Legacy figures in hand, especially the Velocitron Speedy 500 figures. So if you're looking for the more hard to find figures such as Deluxe Class Cosmos or Shadow Strip or even Asher, then now's the time to stop by Ross and see if they have some in stock. So the Ross sticker is unfortunately covering Shadow Strip's face here on the box art, but it's just an enlarged version of the box art here on this corner of the box. So there's Shadow Strip in his robot mode. He's in a nice battle pose. There's a product photo of his alt mode, some box art of his alt mode of a 6-wheeled Formula One race car with laser guns attached to it. And yeah, even though I'm going to keep calling this guy Shadow Strip throughout the review, this is technically the Generation 2 version of Drag Strip, so you can, just like the original Legacy Generation 1 Drag Strip figure, attach this to Legacy Menasor, and you can give Menasor a black sleeve Eve on his right side arm instead of a yellow one. But like I said, I honestly don't know if I actually like the idea of this being a new separate character named Shadow Strip, rather than just the G2 version of Drag Strip, if I'm being honest. But regardless, coming on here to the back of the box, here we have robot mode and alt mode again, transforms back and forth between both modes in 16 steps. And I love the paint job on this figure. It's almost entirely black with gold highlights, such as on the wheels. And it's kind of hard to tell due to the angle that it was put inside the box, but there's almost like a gold checkered flag, egg tampograph F paint job there on the side of the vehicle mode. And you've got metallic blue on the front of the vehicle, and also the chair that the race car driver would sit in, which is the back of Shadow Strip's head. That's the only gripe I have with this figure is that the head ends up transforming into the driver's seat for the race car mode. I honestly wish they would have just done a hatch cover covering the head and make it look like an illusion of a chair for a race car driver, but that's just my own personal gripe with the mold. Oh, but yes, I do enjoy how, and there's also the same metallic blue used on the two laser guns there on the bottom of the box on the inside. But yes, I'm just really thrilled that I was able to find Shadow Strip at my local Ross store because I've now completed my Velocitron Speedy 500 collection. The Velocitron Speedy 500 subline is over and done with after 11 figures released across 2 waves. Shadow Strip was one of only 3 figures released in Wave 2 of the Velocitron on Speedy 500 subline. And yes, it's just really thrilling that I was able to find him at my local store. I didn't think I was going to get the chance to, so this was a Christmas wish come true. Since it's the month of December, and technically Christmas is 8 days away at the time of this video's recording, so that's or is my oh no, my math is off. It's 9 days away, but regardless, I'm just really thrilled to have this figure. So without further delay, let's get Shadow Strip out of his box and take a close look at him in the mode he's packaged in, which is his alt mode. Alright, and so here is Shadow Strip out of his box, in his alt mode with his laser guns attached. And yeah, this is basically the G2 version of Drag Strip done in his almost all black G2 paint job. And compared to the figures that were released in the Generation 2 line, and even the modern ones that were released in the Legacy Evolution Toxitron collection, even though the gold highlights and the metallic blue highlights are very eye-catching, being almost entirely black compared to the other bright, vibrant colors, it makes Shadow Strip or Drag Strip, depending on whatever you want to call him, it makes him have one of the more subtle paint jobs of the Generation 2 series. So it's still an interesting paint job nonetheless, and black has always been my favorite color, so this has always been one of my favorite paint jobs from the Generation 2 line. The point I'm trying to make, I guess, is that for me personally, as far as visually eye-popping as the Transformers Generation 2 action figures tend to be, for some reason, black's never really been an eye-popping or a bright, vibrant color, in my opinion. But with the new paint job here on this new figure, it definitely is making me reconsider that statement. So as far as the paint job goes, you got gold racing stripes here on the front of the car mode. You got there's gold racing stripes continuing up here on the back racing spoiler. The engine's painted gold. You got metallic blue on the windscreen. In the driver's chair, the 2 laser guns. You got gold highlights here on the gauges on the dashboard. Or gold stripes here on the intake vents. You got some gold striping there. I'm sorry, it's not gold striping. It's just my camera angle playing tricks on me. You got different colored black used there on those joints, which are the robot mode arms. And then you got gold highlights here. You got a gold checkered flag pattern here painted on the side. And then, of course, the hubcaps of the wheels are painted gold. So that's nice to see here on this vehicle mode. Wish they would have painted the black clip ips holding the wheels in place, but I can kind of see why they did it due to paint scraping. And speaking of paint scraping, the kneecaps for the robot mode are painted gold, and since there's only a hairline of clearance space between the wheels and the rest of the car, you could potentially scrape that gold paint off of the knee pads on the underside of the vehicle mode if you roll it around on a rough surface over time. But overall, it's a really nice paint job, and that's what this figure has going for it because it is a straight-up repaint of Legacy Drag Strip. So here's a size comparison between the two. And I love with this figure, with the hubcaps being painted gold and the wheels on Drag Strip being unpainted black wheels, the color scheme's almost inverted between these two figures. But yeah, it's really nice comparison there between the two of them. Again, this figure is, by all accounts, the Generation 2 version of Drag Strip, but for whatever reason, on his box and on the instruction sheet, he's been given the new name of Shadow Strip IP, so it's all your personal preference if you want to view this as the Generation 2 version of Drag Strip, or if you want to view Shadow Strip as his own character who just has the same body design as Drag Strip if you want. Yeah, there they are next to each other. The only gripe I have with this copy of Shadow Strip is that the racing spoiler doesn't want to line up properly. A lot of collectors had that problem with Legacy Drag Strip with the racing spoilers not wanting to line up. On my copy on Legacy Drag Strip, if the racing spoiler lines up fairly decently, and for some reason on Shadow Strip, if it doesn't, but hopefully maybe after transforming it a few times it will want to line up more properly, but it does take a little force to do that, so that is a little discouraging. But overall, it's a nice figure, and I'm happy to have it in my Transformers collection. Alright, and just to have some fun before we get to robot mode, because these two figures are straight up repaints of each other, you can swap the front and back halves with each other, and now they have become Shadow Drag and Drag Shadow. So that's really fun to see that there. So you really want these guys to look really outrageous, like some of the Generation 2 action figures, then you can do this if you want. But yeah, it's a really fun, unofficial play gimmick of being able to swap parts with these two to how this mold transforms into Legacy Menassor's arm. But yeah, there's what they look like with their two halves reversed around. And so yeah, really a lot of play value between both of these figures. Alright, and so here is Shadow Strip transformed into robot mode. And again, like his alt mode, his paint job is mostly black with gold and blue highlights. And again, it's really impressive looking. There's those gold knee pads I pointed out earlier. And yeah, he's really nice looking. There's a close-up of his robot mode head. He's got a gold face with red visor and metallic blue helmet. And same articulation as Legacy Drag Strip, heads on a swivel joint in the waist, partially due to how he transforms into Menassor's arm. Arms can spin 360 degrees. They have the potential to spin 360 degrees at the shoulder, but it's hindered by the front spoiler being in the way there. Swivel joint in the bicep, hinged elbows, no wrist articulation due to how the arms transform. Legs can go outward, forward, and back, spin at the thigh, hinged knees, and ankle rockers and ankle pivots in the feet, so you can get some decent action poses with this mold. A lot of Transformers fans and collectors said that Drag Strip was the best of the 4 Deluxe Class Legacy Stunticons to be released, and Shadow Strip being a straight up repaint of Legacy Drag Strip. He is technically the Generation 2 version of Drag Strip. No matter what paint job it is, I still agree with that statement that Drag Strip is the best of the Deluxe Class Legacy Stunticons. So here they are next to each other, and honestly, I enjoy both versions of this mold very much. I do like the paint job more on this one due to it being almost entirely black. But overall, I really enjoy how both figures came out, and I just love the metallic blue used on the laser guns there because it further distinguishes this guy from this one, and in every way possible. And just like when they were transformed in alt mode, if you want to, you can swap the upper and lower halves of Drag Strip and Shadow Strip with each other. So they've now become Shadow Drag and Drag Shadow. So if you ever wonder what these molds would look like having two-tone color schemes, this is it. And they still have the same articulation here, so it's pretty amazing how the transformation joint of these guys forming Menassor's right side arm, it allows you to swap parts between them. But yeah, really impressive looking having all of them. As far as the swapping the parts and which two-tone paint job I prefer, I actually like Legacy Drag Strip with Shadow Strip's legs slightly more than this one. And I don't know why, I've just visually enjoy it more. But yeah, they're both pretty fun and having their legs swapped around. So for the proverbial question, do I recommend getting Legacy Velocitron Shadow Strip and adding it to your Transformers collection, even if you have Legacy Drag Strip already? Absolutely. You cannot go wrong having this figure in your Transformers collection. Like I said, it's your personal choice if you want to call this guy by his new name Shadow Strip and treat him as a entirely separate character from Drag Strip, or if you want to acknowledge the character that he's by all accounts supposed to be, which is just the G2 version of Drag Strip, then you can if you want to do so. Oh, Oh, Shadow Strip has become one of the more hard-to-find deluxe cast figures of the Velocitron Speedy 500 subline, along with his Wavemate Crasher and also Cosmos. But yeah, I do recommend getting this figure, so thank you guys all so much, and it's next time you guys transform and roll out. Goodbye, everyone.